In driving games, there are many different ways to showcase features that games do particularly well, and my favourite one of these is fictional racing circuits. Fictional racetracks allow for the game developers to show off the things that they do really well in the game, so their lighting, the car physics, the car lists, the list goes on of what can be shown off by making a good fictional racetrack in a game. And it also shows some really good creativity and can produce some circuits we'd be desperate to drive on if they were real world circuits. However, which fictional race circuits are the best? I'm Forza Pretender, and this is my list of the top 5 fictional race circuits. Before we get into the top 5, I would like to start with a couple of honourable mentions. Maple Valley just misses out on this one, and it's namely because in some of the slower vehicles it just doesn't feel the same as it does when you're driving a touring car or driving a GT racer. However, I'm not denying that Maple Valley is a fantastic circuit with some spectacular views, hence why I use it for my intro. Another circuit I'd like to give an honourable mention to is the Autosport Club circuit on Grid Autosport. And simply put, this game misses out just because the car handling doesn't feel right on that game. If you put that track into Forza or into Project Cars, for instance, I'm pretty sure it would feel a lot nicer. Anyway, let's get into the top 5. In 5th place, we have the Black Cat Country Circuit, the short version. Unfortunately, the AI are quite poor at one corner on this circuit, so this circuit struggles to get any higher than this. It's got a decent view, having a look out into some beautiful scenery of America, albeit quite a dry, deserted area. There are a mixture of high speed and low speed corners, which would suit pretty much every car on Assetto Corsa, but given that Assetto Corsa is more tailored towards quicker cars, they could get away with not having that many, hard braking zones. However, the advantage of these hard braking zones is there are plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it tests cars of all qualities to a certain extent, with the climb up the mountain in particular. However, the circuit is a little bit long, but the nice flow to it means that despite the AI struggling at one corner, it still is a fantastic circuit and deserves its place on this list. In 4th, we have the Prague circuit. The Prague circuit for me has a few segments of some incredibly nice corners. The climb up the hill is what makes Prague such a special circuit for me in terms of modern Forza games. And I love the corners that have a certain amount of camber. I love the banking that means you can carry so much speed through certain areas. I think it's absolutely superb. I quite like the quick chicane towards the end of the circuit. And it is certainly one for the quicker cars because there aren't many, tight hairpins, as there tends to be a tendency away from in modern racing games, definitely. However, I think overall Prague is a brilliant circuit. In 3rd place, we have the Bernese Alps circuit. A track that first appeared on Forza Motorsport 4, the Bernese Alps has become a relative staple of modern Forza games ever since then. It is the perfect place for track day cars, such as the Lotus 11 and all those series of vehicles. If you make an error, there is time to be lost. With the nature of there not really being many braking zones, so you're always going to lose time until the next major lifting point. The S's do truly put a car through its paces. There are very few clear-cut overtaking spots for some of the slower cars, due to the nature of the corners and the amount of speed you can carry through them. However, in the right sort of car, like the track day cars, as previously mentioned, it's very easy to get a good battle going, and you will see on the footage that I put up for this circuit, I had some real fun doing the battle for this one. In 2nd place is our first circuit from Project Cars, and it is Bannochbrae, set in Scotland. This high-speed thrill through the Scottish Highlands produces a fantastic backdrop around a very, very quick circuit with a few technical sections. I personally like the flat out, the chicane that you can kind of take flat out as you go into the little village, of Bannochbrae. But I think what makes this circuit stand out, and it's the reason I've put this circuit ahead of Bernese Alps, is the attention to detail being absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, I was looking at the replays and the signage is spot on. It feels like the same quality of signage you get in Euro Truck Simulator. The pubs and the shops in the village just feel really realistic. The road markings feel authentic. Everything feels like a circuit built around the idea of at B roads in the UK. That sort of stereotypical, oh my goodness, driving a fast car around a B road feels special. They've really captured that brilliantly. And it's one of those things that we talk a lot about in British car culture. And it's sort of that stereotype that the British magazines like Autocar have made about car culture that's never really got carried into a game. Now then, the circuit that I deem to be the greatest fictional circuit in racing games is the Camino Viejo circuit, which first appeared, I believe, in Forza Motorsport 3. Personally, I think this circuit made Forza Motorsport 3 and Forza Motorsport 4 as great games as they were. I am referring as well to all the different layouts of this circuit. I'm not limiting this just to the Camino Viejo, the Montserrat layout. I'm including the different ones designed around Montserrat. I'm including Ladera, which tests out a lot of the slower cars with some tight corners and, you know, sticky stuff if you get it wrong. I'm including the Iberian circuit with some downright blind and scary corners that yet still manages to suit some of the slower cars at the same time. I'm including the extreme circuit in this because I think having the combination, that circuit, despite being a bit long, has literally everything you could want in a circuit, with the long straights, the beautiful views. And I genuinely do feel sad that we don't have Camino Viejo in modern Forza games, because it was such a joy to drive with whatever vehicle you had. The view from the mountains is just spectacular, and I really do think as far as good looking aesthetics go, it's definitely up there. Also, there is a good mix of different corner types on whatever layout you use. I like how some of the corners are blind and quick, and I like how some of them are just general technical corners. I really do think that Camino Viejo, there's just no beating it on modern racing games, and it makes me quite sad really that no one has ever tried to come close to Camino Viejo since. Thank you for watching this video. This has been Forza Potenza, and if you have enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and feel free to share it with anyone who you know might be interested. Also, check out my blog, which will be in the description down below, where I talk about motorsport in general, but in particular Formula 1. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye!